Thank you, and it's really nice to be here. It's a long time since I was in UK last time. I actually have 3 cousins living here. But today I am going to talk about my favorite subject. It's a crash course in stress management for leadership, or really it's for everyone, because we have the same system, all of us. Or you can also call it how to become friends with your stress system, because most people are not friends with the stress system, they are enemies. And so I'm going to talk about what is stress. How does it affect us? How do we see or realize that we are stressed? And what can we do? And why is it so important that we actually do something? Because it is important. So who am I? I just wanted to put on the map why you can listen to me. I am a medical doctor. I've been working in Sweden for about 35 years in primary care. I have learned stress management. I started my company and started with stress management 18 years ago. And I still work as a doctor from time to time. I've written 2 books. I have some copies with me. They are not about me or my story. Those are more workbooks on stress management. A perfect gift for Christmas if you have friends who need to tag down a little bit. I do speaking, and I have done 2 TEDx talks, and I am also now a mentor for executives, HR and work groups. I work with not only stress management but with workplace health, organizing so that people don't get overwhelmed and get overused and get sick or get on sick leave. And I do workshops on stress. So why am I so interested in stress? And I'm going to tell you my backstory, why I realized 18 years ago that I actually need to work with this and help people to not become patients and to get comfortable with their stress system. When I was 34 years old, I was just about to take my medical exam. And I lost, at the same month, 2 dear people in my life. First, my brother. He committed suicide. He was 31 years old. And 1 week later, exactly 1 week later, our firstborn baby died, 10 weeks old, from a severe genetic illness that she had. So I was in the blackest hole ever, and I was supposed to help others. I was just to be a doctor. I was to save the world. I was to go out there and do all that good, and I could have stayed in that black hole, but I had some good friends and people around me, and they dragged me out. And that's when I realized that you have to take good care of yourself to get back on your feet and to be able to go on with your life and make peace with yourself. So I had very good help with the work that I did. They gave me 1 patient in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, and then they helped me to get through. And little by little, you do raise and start living again. We have 3 beautiful grown-up daughters today, so I'm very blessed. And I also have 4 grandchildren, so. But it was a tough start. I didn't realize my lesson at that time, not until my 3 girls were in teenage, and I was teenagers, and I was working in the healthcare full time, And life was tough, really tough. And I was very close to the stress wall, but I realized that I instead took a step back. And that's when I started to wonder, why did I take a step back and not just rush into the stress wall? So that's when I started to study this. What is stress? How does it affect us? What is the biology behind it? So that's what I did. And when I started to work in the healthcare, then I realized that 80%, maybe even more, of the illnesses or the reasons that people came to us were based on lifestyle. And also those that you usually see as, ordinary illnesses like heart disease and so on, those are also from lifestyle. Yes, there are, life is unequal, so there are, of course, those that can live their best life and still get all these illnesses, but lots of it can be prevented. And I also realized that it's not very much more expensive or hard to live healthily than it is, but it's even easier to live unhealthy, be a couch potato and eat hamburgers over and over and over, for example. So I realized that our lifestyle is our best friend. It's our most important health factor. But it is also our most important or dangerous risk factor. So it is your choice. Which way are you going to go? Because it's your life and your lifestyle that matters. So, and also what I realized very early when I started to work with this is that we are swamped with quick fixes. There are so many things out there saying, buy this gadget, buy this app, get this pill, get a drink, even other narcotics. So there are so many things, but most of them cost money and they just give you one more thing to think about, to stress over. You don't know where that pill is when you really need it, or the app in the phone. You start looking for the app in the phone, and my goodness, it was green, but I can't find it. And does that help? Not really. So there are no quick fixes. I also realized over my years in healthcare, meeting patients and so on, that business people, they are scared to death to talk about stress. And they see it as a mental illness. And no, that's a no. Because maybe I am mentally ill, and that is a no. Or am I not good enough? Am I not doing what I'm supposed to do? Do people see me as a failure? So stress is seen as mental stuff, but it's not. It's just our basic biology. We all have this. It all started on the savannah when we got this system, and everyone has it, independent on what size or color or age or gender or whatever we are. We have the same basic system, and it was, so to speak, given to us around 200,000 years ago. It's not an exact date. Some say a few years earlier, some say a few years later. Doesn't really matter, but it's a very long time ago. We were living on the savannah. We were just one species along with the elephants or the tigers or the zebras or whatever. We were just one of them. And there was 24 hours. There are 24 hours on the day, making 12 hours light and 12 hours night, because this was supposed to be around the equator. That's where they think that we were so to speak, born as the humankind that we are today. So we got this kind of version 1.0 kind of version for as biological creatures. And we got 3 very good tools to use, and that was fight, flee, or freeze. And like I said, there were 12, you can't see it, 12 hours of light and 12 hours of dark. And we stayed in the caves in the night. One or two people in the group, we were herd animals, we are herd animals. A couple of them were, what you would call it, sometimes my English. Yes, some people were watching for the others, and that meant that most of the group could sleep well, and another time there was someone else on watch. So we needed to be inside in the cave in the night. Otherwise, the animals would eat us. And today, and in the daytime, we were hunting and searching for food. And today, today it's light 24 hours. You can be up all the time. You can get food anytime. And it's just, we are not just made for that. And when the stress hormones hit us, because these tools, the fight, flee, and freeze, they were used when the stress hormones were rising, because we saw the lion over there and you just had to run away, or you had to fight it in worst case or play dead. And today it's not okay to punch your boss in the face when they come with another thing saying that you need to do this too. Or you can't run away from them and say, oh, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to run away. Or throw yourself on the floor and play dead. Sounds a bit ridiculous, right? So we have to, but we still have the same system, because we as human beings, biology is extremely slow. So we are the same, but the surrounding that we have today is totally different. So we have to figure out how can we find a way to thrive in this new world. So that's what I'm gonna continue with. So how does stress show up when you when the tiger comes? Because it's easy to see. When the tiger comes, your stress hormones, they go up. Or when the boss comes, the stress go up. And you want to have a normal level of stress hormones. And at first, when the stress comes on us, when the hormones go up a little bit, you start shaking, or you get worried, you lose your memory, you can get stomach ache or headache. You have to do things over and over again. And those are different ways to react. And I would say that one good thing is to learn how you react. If you know how you react when stress comes knocking, then you have a tool for yourself to not go into that. I think you talked a little bit about this. And so think about it. When you feel stressed next time, you just think, how does it feel? How does it show with me? And with me personally, I get very slow. On the outside, I look like the calmest person on earth. Inside, I'm chaos, but I'm very slow when I'm thinking. I learned that a long time ago, and that works fine. If it goes on for a longer time, then we lose our sense of feeling well. So we feel powerless, we get low self-esteem, and life isn't that much fun anymore, and you can go towards depression. And if it goes on for a very long time, then the cortisol part of the stress hormones that's coming, that is not very good for our veins or blood vessels, for example. So it can cause us to get hypertension, heart attacks, stroke. It's for obesity, and also some forms of cancer is induced by too much cortisol for too long if you don't do anything about it. It's called the silent killer because of this, because it creeps up on us. And this is one of the reasons why we really need to learn how this functions, to become friends. Some people say, why don't they just make a pill to take away the stress hormones? No, that's not possible, because if you take away the stress hormones and you get zero, you die. So it's not very good to have no stress hormones. You want to have them on a, so to speak, normal level. If you have too little of stress hormones, you are seriously ill, and you have to take medication for the rest of your life, complicated medication. So that's not ideal either. You want to have normal stress hormone levels. When I started to think about, what did I do? How did it work? What is stress management? Then I realized there are two different kinds of stress management that we need to worry about or care about. And the first one is that when stress is coming knocking, when the tiger is over there and, or the boss comes and says, oh, do this too, and do this too, and do this, you feel the knock, 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 knock on your shoulder. You have to do something so that you can think clear and actually get on with whatever you're doing. And then I realized, if you keep doing your life as always, the same way, you're going to get the same kind of knockings over and over and over again. So we also have to do something in the long run. If we take in the knocking moment to begin with, this is, you have to get back in the now to think clear. You can only think clear in the now. If you think about what's happened, the past, that's just thoughts. It's not going to help you. And if you are thinking or heading your thoughts towards the future, most of the things that you fear in the future will never happen. They say like 80% will never happen, and those 20% that might happen, they will happen in another way than you thought they would do. So it's useless. You have to get into the now to think clearly and to be able to do whatever that task was, or to fight that animal. And I use some effective tools, and these are my quick fixes. They cost nothing. You always have them along, and you can practice them before, and then they will just be there. And it's the breathing. Then I use moving your body or moving your muscles helps your brain cells to reconstruct to the way they want. And we got that from the savannah when we were running away from the animals or fighting. We needed to be able to do things in the right way. So when we moved our bodies, our muscles, we could think clear so that we actually ran to the safe place and not towards the animal. So if you lose your thoughts, then you stand up and juggle around a little, and that might help you to get the thought back again. Mini meditation. This is a short version of meditation that I learned many years ago, where you close your eyes, if possible, and you just say a kind word to yourself for a minute or two. And I use the word release because that's how I learned it. Like I say, release, release. Because if I do that, my brain cannot have other thoughts, and they will kind of straighten up again, and I will have a clearer answer to whatever stressed me out. And then we have the smile, and I think that is one of my favorites. When you smile, your brain knows how your muscles are positioned in your face, and it releases feel-good hormones automatically. We also have a mirror. The smile is the shortest way between two people because we mirror each other. So if I am stressed and I do have someone across the table or somewhere around, I can look them in the eyes and smile, and they have to smile back because we are forced to do that because of these mirror neurons. And that means that the person that I smile at gets feel-good hormones, and I get a surplus of feel-good hormones. You can also, if you don't have someone to smile to, you can take your phone and you put it in the photo, in the selfie mode, and smile to yourself. That works fine too. So, it's easy, all free. You'd always have them there, something of these. And then in the long run, if we have master or can master doing things in the now, because it's good to start there. But in the long run, if we keep doing what we've always done, we will get the same result. So in the long run, it takes a lifetime, because this is part of our basic biology. And your basic biology will be there. How long? Until we die. So you might as well try to do something about it. And I guess this is not how you want to feel for the rest of your life. So you have to kind of do something. And if you want to do changes, you have to have the mindset for changes, because changes are not going to just happen. You have to want to do it. No one can do anything in your life for you. You have to do that. You have to get your willpower out and do those to do lifestyle changes. And when you have decided, then you have to get energy. And when you are stressed out, you are running in the hamster wheel. And when you are running in the hamster wheel, you don't have any extra energy to get out. You want to, you do the same because it's the easiest way. It costs less energy. So if you want to do something different, it costs more energy. And you can't buy energy from someone else. And you can't get it from someone else. So you have to generate that yourself. And you generate energy by doing 3 very important things that we have heard about here before today. The first one is regular sleep. And we have clocks in here that tells us when we are supposed to sleep to get it at its best. And it wants to do that 7 days a week, because your brain does not know if it's Monday or Sunday or whatever day. It wants the same every day. And when you have gotten yours, I mean, this is a lecture in itself to talk about sleep. When you have had that, then you also need to get organized your meals, your food, and we heard about that too before, and how important that is. And lots of vegetables. 3 colors a day keeps the doctor away. That's it used to be 1 apple a day keeps the doctor away, but I say 3 colors a day keeps the doctor away, because the colors in the fruits and vegetables, they are antioxidants, so they help you to heal your body and be healthy. And then the third thing you need is to have regular physical activities. And I say the basic is 30-minute brisk walk each day, nothing less. More is of course good, but that's the baseline. And then when you have the new energy, then it's time to sell that hamster wheel that you had. And for that hamster wheel, you can, for the money that you get, then you buy a virtual helicopter for the next step, because now you don't need the hamster wheel anymore, unless you have a hamster, of course. But that's another story. So you buy your virtual helicopter, and then you use that over your life to see, what do I need to change? Because it's not the same for everyone. You use it to look at your total life. And yes, work is part of it, but work is definitely not the most if we see it on the whole perspective for our life. And then to do this, I usually have for people to do this exercise with the helicopter. You take a piece of paper, you write down, this is how my life is today. No judgment, this is how it is. And then you take the plus and the minus, and you put those on the different things that you have written. And those that you have written a minus on, you go on and you write this is how I want it. And when you have that, you can start looking at, okay, what am I going to do next? Because what we think that we need is that we need to work harder to buy those gadgets and stuff, and skip pauses and think that that's going to help us be stress-free. But what we need is to increase our own personal potential, our energy, by making those changes. And the changes are what you need in your life, because we have different needs. And what I need is not the same as other people need. And also for the workplace, it's good to do things. And so, just a repetition of what I started with. What is stress? That's stress hormones that we're going to have for the rest of our lives. We want to have them on a normal level. And how does it affect us? We get grumpy, we get ill, and we don't want that. We want to have the normal amount. So what can we do? Yes, we can learn those quick fixes for the moment that you all have with you. And then we can take good care of our health by sleep, eat, and exercise, and friendship. That goes also into there. So why should we do it? Because we want to live a long and healthy, happy life. And this is my last one. You have the real long-term version of stress management is about reducing the number of short moments of stress by making changes. So it's your choice. Do I want to go with the old habits, or do I want to do changes? And there you have my website. And if you go to my website, there is a starter kit, a free starter kit for doing these exercises. Or you can look at the book. Yeah, I also have cards, so you can take cards, so you have the website over there. That's what I had about stress management. Thank you.